Good morning, this is Stephanie with Growing from the Woodpile, and today we got a GreenStalk package. No, I did not order another GreenStalk. I am not completely in love with my GreenStalk, and it's probably not GreenStalk's fault. It's my weather conditions. I live in a very hot zone, and they dry out a lot, and I am not faithful about going outside and watering it because the rest of my garden is on drip irrigation. So GreenStalk came out with an automatic water system, and this is what's in here. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what exactly is in it. I haven't seen anybody else's videos yet. It's fairly new. They released it to people that were on their mailing list, I believe, first. And since I had bought a GreenStalk from them, I was able to get it, I think it was for like $29. So that was a great deal. So my first unboxing video. All right. So here's the lids that it comes with. The water spigot's supposed to go in there. And I bought two of them, so I have two systems. So what else is in the second lid? The hose is, I have absolutely no idea how to hook it up, so we're gonna have to read the instructions. Here's some stuff. It says inside this bag, one spout, one valve, one hose adapter, one tubing elbow, one tubing T, 7 clips. And it says in the box is a top water reserve, 2 black tubes, a timer, sold separately. I am gonna put this on a timer. All right, there's the second bag, same thing. And what else we got here? We got a little thank you, Ethan. Hopefully this isn't child labor. You're awesome. Thank you for packing my box. I'm not against child labor. I think it gives kids something to do. And then it makes them learn how to be better with their money as they grow up as adults, if they learn how to start managing money as they were kids. All right. They always give you some stickers, and it says absolutely radishing. And they usually give you some seeds with the purchase, at least they have with my other two GreenStalks. Got some butter crunch lettuce. Another thank you from the founders. This is a family-owned company, like that. And then hopefully, nope, this is not instructions. This is how to set up your GreenStalk. So I was hoping there was instructions in there, but this is what usually comes with each GreenStalk. So maybe the instructions are in here. So automatic setup guide. So let's see. It looks like you clip these on. Oh, I'm not on. Am I on one? First, it shows you your what's in this kit before you begin. Set up your desired GreenStalk. Blah blah blah. Location. Pre-het hoses are in here. I don't like reading on camera, and I'm not going to read this too. So first, it shows you to put the little clips on the outside of the GreenStalk. I'm assuming you put this on top. And then you twist that into the top little spigot thing, little connector thing. Shows you what to do. Shows how that goes to a hose. I'm wondering if I'm gonna hook up to, oh, there we go. If I wanna hook up to, there we go. Okay. Hopefully mine aren't too far apart. If not, I think I have some of this hose. That's what I used. So I'm gonna read these instructions a little more before we go outside and set it up. So stay tuned. We'll be going outside. Okay. I'm outside now trying to figure out my setup. This is GreenStalk number 1. And then this is GreenStalk number 2. We're going to do a dry fit. I'm thinking the hose is going to have to go here on this side because it's going to dare to that side. And that is my thinking on this. You can tell it's going to have to stay where it goes once I clip it because the GreenStalk is not going to be able to rotate after this because of the automatic watering system. I'm going to do a dry fit. I'm going to put you on the tripod. We got our parts out. We got our book. Step 1. Put the clips on. Alright, and try to line them up. I intermixed my tiers. I had 1 original and 1 leaf. And so this one is 3 leaf and 3 original. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go on this tier down. That's what I'm thinking. Clips right in. Put them in my pocket. It's not hard, it's just figuring it out as you go. So here's the clip. There's a little gap right here, so this goes in between the 2 tiers. Trying to line up the tiers here. Let me grab a tripod and get you in here real close, like. I'm going for this tier right here. And put it in my pocket. This is some lemon basil. I like to make tea out of it. Kind of lining it up. And then snapping it in. Now down to this one. Lining it up. Bringing it over just a little bit so it lines up with. Alright, got some plant supports down here. Haven't really needed the plant supports per se. Lined up. Last one. Now let's see with the hose. I believe let's go to step 2. No, I'm skipping ahead. So step 2 is to connect the tube valve to the hose. But I thought I needed to measure my hose. So I know I read that somewhere to measure my hose. Okay, so it says before you begin. It's not in the instructions. And it says the pre-cut hoses, including this kit, are cut for the maximum planter height of a 5-tier original or 7-tier leaf. And that for shorter green stalks, you'll have to cut the hose to fit. To find the correct length, hold the black tube upright from the ground to the top pocket and cut the top of the pocket. Okay. They're kind of bent already, so let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't? Well, I'm gonna need all the length. It seems short. Back to 2. Connect the tube to the valve. Turn the collar around clockwise. You found the correct connector. This threaded part up, as you see in the instructions. This is to thread counterclockwise. So that would be this way. It does again remind me a lot of my drip irrigation. I'm gonna cut in right here. So when I was editing the video, I learned that reading and doing things on the go, I was doing things incorrectly. I learned about toward the end what I was doing wrong, but I didn't think it made it very clear the mistakes I was making. So I'm gonna add this right here, and then you can watch the rest of the video and me learning as I go. So if you read the instructions, you put the pipe into here. It doesn't really say how to put the pipe in. I thought it said you needed to do a twisting motion to put the pipe into here, because you want this completely loose. And when it says counterclockwise, you're actually turning this piece counterclockwise, and it tightens up the pipe on the connection piece. So you're going to push this pipe in any way you can. It's not easy to push in, and I'm not going to push it all the way in because I want to save this connection. It might be too hard to get off. So you're going to push this pipe as far as you can into this connection. And once you got that in there, then you're turning this piece counterclockwise, and it tightens up the connection to it. That was what I was doing wrong. I figured it out towards the end, but I wanted to cut in here so you can see the mistakes I made and then see the correct way with better lighting why I was doing it. Now, back to me learning as I go. Step 3. Screw the spout on. Okay. So let's see what step 4 is. Step 4. Okay. Connect the opening at the end of the tube to the hose adapter, similar to step 2, to the collar, turning counterclockwise. So that goes at the other end of the tube. I'm not going to do that just because there's instructions back here to add multiple planters, and I'm not sure what connector I'm going to need to add the multiple planters. So I'm going to skip step 3. I'm just going to do a dry fit. I'm going to have to pop it back out to figure out what connector I want on the bottom. And we're going to go to 4. That was 4. We're going to go to 5. Clip it on the side. And does the clip go on the very top? Maybe not, because it goes into that one. Okay, enough talking to myself. Let's go hook it to the planter. On the inside of the plant supports. About there. It clips in really fairly easily. So, and just clip in all the way down. Okay, and just start clipping these into place and dropping them. Well, and just slide a little bit. Why you gotta be so extreme? Lavender smells good. And dropped a clippy. Now, hose They do say if you set these hoses out, I know that it kind of makes this softer to turn in. Turning the spigot on. This one goes clockwise. Inside the tears. Hanging up quite a bit. Then we're pushing down into the ground down here. So I do have a pipe cutter. So let's see what the lid does on this, though, before I decide where to cut. Lettuce touch protein, smashing my green onions. Seam to get the lid on straight with one hand. Okay, I think it's on now. Not very secure. I mean, it is a lid, but it's not secure. So I'm going to keep the mesh on it just in case that blows away. It's not directly lined up at a 90. I'm going to keep it more like this and see if it drips out of this, because I need, if it's tight like that, it goes like that. If I untie it, it goes like that. So, I'm going to devise a plan now to connect the two and see if I need to go somewhere to get another connector. I do have 2 more pieces of tubing left. I need to play around with the leftover parts that I got. When I come up with the plan, I'll let you know what the plan is. Slowly figuring out the configuration I want. So this pipe, when it goes in here, likes to twist on me. Here, I make it so it's flat-ish in here. I have extra pipe down here, and they say cut it to ground level. So about, you see where I bent it right there is what I need to cut off. They don't say what to cut it off. I know this pipe from putting in my drip irrigation, so I have this easier pipe cutter thing, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it with one hand, but it is pretty easy. So I'm lining up my mark there, and then you just squeeze it down, and then it just cuts it. So now it's the right length. I clip it back in. Sorry for the dizziness. So now it's kind of where it needs to be. So now I need to connect the 2 sections together. And I had this extra pipe when I did the drip irrigation because it's not going to lay flat for me. This is the piece that came with the GreenStalk. And as you see, it stops right there. So it's about 2 feet short. I'm going to run my piece that I had from this GreenStalk to this GreenStalk, put the T in there, and make it go over to my connector. So I'm going to get that all set up. I'll try to film it on my tripod. We'll try. So, GreenStalk number 2. My pipe that I have, you can buy this pipe at any hardware store. You could just take in the piece GreenStalk gave you. And I'm using the T section that will go into the GreenStalk and into this pipe. I think I'm going to hook it to the GreenStalk first. Yeah. And it says remember to do it counterclockwise. Oh, this is when it's probably easier to do it before, but I didn't know my configuration, so that's why I already have it hooked to the GreenStalk. I'm just going to unsnap it a little bit and move the camera and counterclockwise. Whoa, maybe I should have cut a little more off. gonna dig down through the wood chips. Does that about 2 inches. Since I want it pointing that direction, I'm just gonna make sure I have it pushed all the way in. And I probably will dig out the wood chips because I do want it kind of hidden. Now I'm gonna hook my piece, or if your green stalks aren't as far apart, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just ending up wiggling it in. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Then maybe a little turn. This is where if your hose is preheated, it is a little bit easier. So what I've done in the past is, it's morning time so the sun isn't hitting it. So I might come out here and re-push it back in a little bit, but just kind of wiggling it and pushing it down. I don't know what... these things tighten up. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I guess this puts some better tightening to it. I may do that up here. Loosen this connection up. Yeah, I want it there. I do not understand why this does not line up correctly. I have not figured that out. That was what some lady was saying on Facebook, why this doesn't align with that. Okay, I'm gonna hook it back up. And go from the bottom up. So now I have that extra piece at the bottom. Got it all clipped in, but it's pointing the wrong direction. So we can keep working on that. Don't know what I need to turn to fix that. If I can get my tripod back out. We're all learning as we do this together, people. Top's pointed the wrong way. Loosen you back up. Loosen you back up. Turn you. Yeah, so loosen this and then you can turn him. This still doesn't face straight. I don't understand that, but at least it's not facing in. Okay, then tighten this piece back up. Okay, this may have been in instructions and I just read it wrong the whole time. I was like, turn it this way. This right here loosens. Then I was able to move the spigot where I wanted it and then use this to retighten it. Key. That is key. Okay. Sorry, one hand. I'm gonna go ahead and put that same corner piece over here. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna dig out these wood chips in here and make kind of a valley. And use landscaping staples to pin the hose down. It's easier to go with the flat side. Okay. Digging it out all the way over to other Mr. GreenStalk, or GreenStalk number 1. Oh, it smells nice and earthly. All right, working this out in my head as we go. I was hoping just to use this connector to put this into this hose, into this hose, and then this goes out to the hose. But I don't feel like that's going to work because that has a weird angle. So I'm still going to have to use the 90 to here and then cut a little piece of hose. All right, I'm just going to have to do it as I go. So this 90 is going into this hose. Loosen this up. Loosen up. Push it in. Now from this piece, going to need to cut. Where's my cutter? I'm gonna cut off that much and then we'll see how much we need. Cutting off this much that you can't see with my hose cutter. Okay. Now, oh lady knees. Now putting it onto this piece. Okay, so from there, now I could do my 3-way. So I'm gonna put in that piece first and then see how much I need to cut off. I need to cut off, if it goes into there, I want to cut it off about even, so I'm gonna go here. Okay. I'm gonna dig out a trough going to the water line. Beautiful. See right there the blocks that the GreenStalk's on. I need to go from that tee of the GreenStalk over to this splitter there. Splitter, this is the part that goes to the hose, but I want this on a timer. Now I need to go get the timer. So this timer is going to go here, and then this is going to go onto here. But I need to time it to see how long it takes to know where to set the timer up. So yeah, temporarily I'm not going to use the timer because I got to know how many minutes to set the timer for. So I'm going to hook this to the splitter. And I think we're both off. And I'm just going to measure enough hose to here. Yeah. Again, making it up as I go. Let me see. Went ahead and hooked up the T down there, put a staple in it. Put a staple in it there. Coming over to the water junction, lack of whatever we're calling it. Dry fitting the hose here. And I'm going to cut it here. So, get my cutter. I'm going to undo it from the twisty. I don't know if you can see Goose's nose right there. Hey, Mr. Goose. Okay. Sun is in weird way. So I do think when it says turn counterclockwise, I do think it was all these little pieces on it. But it is helpful to use it counterclockwise motion. You don't have another pipe to it. That's something that I'm gonna have to, when you do it, understand. See this twist, you want it loose, and then you want to push the pipe in. Push the pipe in. Sorry for the bad lighting. Bad lighting. And then once you get it in, pretty dang far down, you can see it's... Come over the better, son. The pipe now is past this little ridge of when you're pushing it in. Then you tighten this piece over it. Yeah. So, tighten it up. It's counterclockwise motion. I thought they were meaning the whole pipe when I first read the instructions. Now, I'm going to hook it to the splitter so then I could figure out how much time it takes. I'll double check a couple of things. Oh, this means on. Okay. I'm not going to put the lid on that one, on any of them yet. There's the 2 lids on the ground. Gonna get all my extra pieces out of my mesh that collects all the dirt and stuff. It is a paint strainer for a 5-gallon bucket, but it works. So, assuming if this is like normal piping, this means on, turn it. See how, even like with propane, if this is going the same direction as the pipe, that's on. If you turn it this way where it's perpendicular, that's off. Why do I talk about propane? Well, we're getting ready to go to the cabin next week, to the ranch garden, and then I will start my coming back and forth every 2 weeks. I have propane at the cabin, and that's where the other garden is in 6A, Alpine, Arizona. It's very cold. Okay, got all my connections on. I'm not going to cover up any of my ditches until I see if it's correct. Now, we're going to go turn the water on. So scary. So the water over here that tees to it is also to the hose link, and so the timer's going to go there, and then the hose link will still have water. That's the timer if all's well. This hose here goes to the GreenStalk and the hose link. Coming over here, going to attach to the house, which I need to do, and probably cannot do with one hand. And turn this on. So, water is on. Goes here. Both of them clamped off. Now, once I turn that on, it should fill both hose links. So, let's go. I need a timer. Need a set timer. And start. We're going to see how long it takes to fill up the GreenStalk. Turn it on. Water's going in. Don't see any links. Water going in. Pretty nice flow. Does seem like GreenStalk number 1 has a little bit more flow because it's the first one on. Let's go back and look. What do you think? It just seems like he swings out a little bit better. But while we're here, got some marigold, got some chamomile. Planted those all at the same time. Planted chamomile here and died. Planted a marigold there, it died. Planted some basil there, it died. I think it just must have had a really hot day. Same with over here. This marigold died. That one lived. That one lived. I hope my what's that called? Chamomile lives? I don't know how well it does in hot. But now they've been watering these so much better. When I had that whole it makes me mad, nothing comes up in my GreenStalk. I just wasn't watering it enough to keep it damp. And just spraying the top wasn't really doing a nice deep water in it. Oh, we're almost at the top here. We're at 1 minute and 50 seconds. And now we're overflowing. What are we at over here? Oh no, see, this one's not full. So that one's just gonna have to overflow until that one fills. Huh, that's not good. Because if this one doesn't get super full, then it doesn't get fully watered. So that one is just gonna run down the water in the back. Overflow those top ones. I wonder if I turned this down so not as much comes in. Oh, so we'll test it again tonight. I turned down the flow in this one. Well, I keep stepping on stuff. So I'll try to do a little update. turn down the flow on that one so that one goes in slower, so then this one will have more water. To be determined on time, but I'm thinking around 2.5 minutes. And just in case I don't come back, thank you for learning and growing with the Woodpile, where we know about propane and connections.